beautiful people of the internet. It is Sydney Island here. That's Island with the Y, not an S. How you doing? Are you taking good care of yourself? I hope that you are. Today in this video, we are going to talk about something that I've been working hard. I've been working hard on, okay? I've been working hard with these notes. And it is all about the type of partner you will attract in life. This is the type of partner that you have always had a tendency to attract. This could be the type of partner you attracted when you were a teenager all the way through your 20s. But usually in the early stages of your life, you attract the undeveloped, more immature version of the sign that's in your 7th house, for an example. But as you get older, if you learn the lessons that you're supposed to learn, you will attract a partner who has the evolved, more mature aspects of whatever sign is in your 7th house, for an example. And we're going to get into the details of all of that. Okay, so I'm going to go through the rising signs and the 7th house. So when we're talking about attracting a spouse, the 7th house is your house of relationships and marriage and business contracts and pretty much the house of other people. It could also be friendships, but especially your relationships, especially your marriage. So whatever sign is in your 7th house, that's very important, right? Your 7th house is it is literally one of the most important aspects of your chart when it comes to relationships and marriage, right? Now, how does the rising sign play into this? Well, typically your rising sign, the sign that is your rising sign, will be the opposite sign of whatever is in your 7th house, right? Because the rising sign, that rules the 1st house, and the 1st house is Aries house, which is the house of self. The 7th house is the opposite house to Aries house. This is Libra's house, and Libra represents, relationships, and Libra is all about the scales. It's all about balance between relationships and other people, right? So for an example, if you have an Aries rising, you will more than likely have Libra in the 7th house or on the 7th house cusp, for an example, because Aries and Libra are opposite signs. And so we're going to get into the details of whose opposite sign is who in this video, so please stay tuned. All right, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I got my notes here, so if y'all see me looking down, that's what's going on. It's a lot of information, so I can't just bust all of this out without having some type of outline to follow, okay? So don't be mad, why she keep looking down? Look at the camera, god dang. You'll be okay, calm down. Okay, so the type of partner that you have a tendency to attract, what you got to look out for when it comes to your love life, this is huge. This video is all about what you got to look out for. Be careful. You got to be very careful when it comes to your 7th house. This is the house of massive, very uncomfortable lessons that you will experience in your love life. We're going to start off with Aries rising. If you have an Aries rising, you have Libra in your 7th house. Okay, so Aries rising people, let's talk about the kind of person you are and then the kind of partner you have a tendency to attract, and also what you should look out for, I have to warn y'all about the dangers of the type of people that you could attract if you're not careful and if you're not healing, because this is what it's all about. It's about healing and having a healthy relationship with yourself. If you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you're going to attract the not so good vibration of whatever sign is in your 7th house. So Aries rising. So Aries rising, you have Libra in your 7th house more than likely, right? So Aries rising, you're a very bold person. You're a go-getter. You're very confident. This is how you come across, because the rising sign rules your first impressions and how people perceive you. And so I advise y'all to go check out the video that I just made about what are people's first impressions of you based on your rising sign. That is a great precursor to this video. That is a great prequel to this video. Okay, so Aries, you're very energetic. You're very childlike. You love to keep your body moving. You're a very athletic person. You feel like life should always be spicy. Life should always be fun. You are here to have a good time, right? And sometimes you may even be a little bit selfish or self-centered. So when it comes to relationships, you having Libra in the 7th house, you may experience karma when it comes to sometimes being a little too selfish. You may attract partners that are very, in a negative sense, can be codependent on you because you know who you are so much and they don't. They may rely on you like really, really, really heavily for for an identity, for a sense of identity. Like you may attract partners who are very codependent and don't know who they are, and they kind of like always need your advice, right? But on the positive side, if you heal and evolve, you may attract, you're going to attract a partner with this Libra energy that is very balanced. They're very balanced when it comes to having a healthy relationship with themselves and then having a healthy relationship with the other person. So Aries rising, your whole life, your whole relationship and your identity and all of that, it's about finding a balance between the relationship with yourself and the relationship with other people. Having Aries rising, you're lucky because you're going to attract partners who want to play fair and want to do the right thing, and partners who are good at compromise, and they may teach you how to compromise in relationships while you teach them how to have a stronger sense of self. You'll attract a partner who's very artsy, who's very good at fashion. Like you're lucky because you're going to attract a partner who's very beautiful. Like you're good at attracting partners who have really good self-care, partners who know how to dress themselves. They always, every morning they get up. If you're a man, you're more than likely would date women who put on makeup in the morning. Like they prioritize putting on makeup in the morning, very well dressed, always got their hair done and their nails done. And in the opposite sign, if you're a female, you may attract a man who wears the best suits and things like that. He always has on the best smelling cologne. Like you are lucky when it comes to attracting a partner who has a really nice aesthetic to them. Okay, Aries rising, so the secret here is, though, you may have a part of you that is secretly clingy and secretly like really, really, really crave relationships and don't really like to be single, but you don't really want people to know that that's who you are. You really feel like it's important to project this sense of independence. Like you want people to perceive you as very independent, even though when it comes to relationships, you may be very needy, because in relationships you're Libra. In relationships you have like Libra, like needs of a Libra. Taurus rising, Scorpio in the 7th house. Okay, so if you have a Taurus rising, you're more than likely have Scorpio in the 7th house. Okay, so Taurus rising, you are going to attract a partner who is very mysterious. It's going to be something about this partner that, let's say partner, but more than likely partners, plural. You're going to attract partners that there's something kind of unusual about them in a spiritual way. You attract relationships that have like a spiritual foundation to it. There's always like this spiritual pull. So unfortunately, you may attract partners who are always going through very challenging transformation. You may notice a pattern with like all of your exes. They always was going through a lot whenever y'all started dating, and you were always the stable one. You were always the one that had it together and your life was always cool, calm, and collected, and you had to help them in some kind of way. But the thing is that through helping them, you learned a lot. Okay, you even also transformed as an individual through helping them to transform and through helping them to transition. You could attract a partner who just got out of a messy divorce or something like that. It's a little challenging here. It can be a little chaotic. You may attract partners who are very emotionally chaotic and they got a lot going on, and you kind of feel like, can I ever catch a break? Like, can I attract a partner that's stable and calm like me? Like, because you have that being a Taurus rising, where you come across very stable, and you may attract people that rely on that sense of stability. Taurus rising, your partner, like you and your people, you do have a tendency to have like very sexual relationships, right? So like there's a lot of passionate, steamy sex. And you may almost feel that sex is deeply tied to like that karmic bond that y'all have. Like you may feel that you're connecting souls through sex. This has a lot to do with your relationships, whether you like it or not. So you do have to be careful here, because if it's undeveloped, you may be in a relationship with somebody and you think you're in love and you think that this is the right, you know, type of relationship for you, but all it is just really good, passionate sex that feels like this past life bond. It feels like this is past life relationship, and like it's super spiritual. And it may be that y'all do have a past life connection, and that's why y'all feel that way towards each other, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the right relationship. So please be careful with this placement, because you could also attract partners who may be jealous of you, and who may not have your best interest in mind because of that. So you do have to be cautious with attracting sneaky partners, manipulative partners, and jealous partners, and also vindictive partners as well. Now, an evolved version of this, you attract a partner who is spiritually evolved, who knows who they are spiritually, and who is fiercely loyal to you. All right. Gemini rising, Sagittarius in the 7th house. So this is a fun placement, okay? This is a lot of fun. And this is also, like, I feel like you're kind of lucky to have Sagittarius in your 7th house, because automatically you're going to attract a partner who's a lot of fun, who knows how to have fun. And this is good for you. Like, this placement is good because you two have a lot in common despite being opposite, opposite energies, right? Like, you're a Gemini rising, but the people you attract is like your opposite sign, Sagittarius. And this works because you both crave stimulation. You both crave exploration, and you both are really big on learning and gaining information about things. You both really care about gaining knowledge about things. But the difference is, you being a Gemini rising, you have more of a curiosity about people. You have like a social curiosity, and you like to learn about people and the psychology of human beings and things like that. Like, that's more of your interest, whereas you're gonna attract people who have an interest with exploring the world and exploring other countries and finding out about how people are overseas, whereas you're concerned about the people in your community and learning about how to be better with them and how to maybe climb up the social ladder in your community. Whereas the people you attract will have a tendency to want to climb not climb up the social ladder, but will have a tendency to want to learn about people, but they want to learn about other cultures, right? They want to learn about other people who have different cultures than them. These people love to learn. They also, you attract people who have like they're really big on spirituality and learning as much as they possibly can about spirituality. They may be researching a bunch of different religions at once. Like, they got one book on Catholicism. Is that what it's called? Catholicism. They may have one book on Catholicism, and then another book on Judaism, and then another book on Christianity. You will attract a partner who's very bold, and they will be blunt and will speak the truth. And it may kind of catch you off guard, because Gemini rising, you are used to being a smooth talker and sometimes even fabricating things for your own benefit. But the type of partner you attract, they can be like, hold on, I don't have time for none of that. Like, I don't believe what you're saying. Like, a Sagittarius, you're with this Sagittarius type partner, will call you out. They will call you out and be like, I don't think that that's the truth. Because Sagittarius energy is all about seeking the truth. And Gemini, unfortunately, you are prone to lying. So you may manifest a partner that challenges you to speak the truth. So you two both love to learn and study, right? You two are very, studious people. So, this is a really good placement, for like your future spouse. You may meet this partner overseas. You may meet this person on a dating app and they just so happen to be in another country. You may meet this person, doing like college courses abroad or something like that. The challenge here is, it may be a little chaotic at times, Gemini rising. Like, you both can bring the chaos because neither of you like to be pinned down. So there may be a little bit of commitment issues with the two of you, whether it be you having issues committing or them having issues committing, or both. So be mindful of that. Know what you want. Be a little bit more decisive. I know Gemini energy has a tendency to, operate from an indecisive place, because Geminis think so much. So try not to think so much and be decisive. And the thing is, the person that you attract will help you with this. Like, they will help you to be more decisive about what you want as well. All right. Cancer rising, Capricorn in the 7th house. You may have a tendency to overgive in relationships and be like too empathetic and sometimes too emotionally invested. And you attract partners who are more emotionally balanced and help you to balance out your emotions. And sometimes you may even attract partners that are a little bit cold, and you don't really like it, and you don't necessarily need for your partner to be cold, but you do need for your partner to not be as emotionally dramatic as you. You may project out this persona of nurturing, and you talk about how important home and family is to you, and those things are important, but there's a secret part of you that really cares about career. You really care about being successful in your career. You may not feel comfortable talking about that all of the time, because you just want to come across like this nurturing, family-oriented person. But you really want a partner that's good at business. Like, you really want a partner that's good at having a career and being in the outside world. And lucky for you, you attract that. Because see, the thing is, we attract what we need when it comes to the 7th house and the rising. We attract what we need, right? So sometimes we attract things that can be uncomfortable, right? But we still need it, right? So you may attract a partner who kind of is straightforward with you about emotions, to the point where they can be blunt and maybe a little hurtful, and you may not like that, but you may need that. You, over time, a lot of the times have a tendency to attract very serious partners who take themselves seriously. They take relationships very seriously. You both take relationships very seriously, just in two different ways. Like, you attract a partner that takes relationships seriously in a sense where they see it like a business, and they're like, we have to be mature about relationships, whereas you take it seriously, like, what about my feelings and what about me, and so y'all are really here to help each other balance out home life versus the career life, and help each other to balance out logic versus emotions. And so with this placement, you may manifest a partner later on in life, because Capricorn is the sign of older age and wisdom and things like that. Planet Saturn is all about that. Saturn rules Capricorn, is all about discipline and maturity and things like that. So you may attract a partner that's very mature, or a partner that is a lot older than you. A partner that is a lot older than you. This is a classic age gap kind of relationship. Sorry, I'm like, this hair sheds. Like, if y'all notice me doing this a lot in my videos lately, it's like this hair freaking sheds. But yeah, so you may attract a partner that's a lot older than you, and give off, like, especially like if you're a woman, you may attract a Capricorn, a man who has Capricorn energy and is older than you. Like, he gives off fatherly vibes. Like, you may have daddy issues, and you then have a tendency to date older men, and vice versa. You may be a man who have mommy issues, and you have a tendency to attract older women because of that. And the thing is, with this placement, your partner is going to need your nurturing side. They are, because they're going to be very hardworking, and they're going to be all about working on that, in the outside world. So they're going to need you when they come home. They're going to need that warmth and that nurturing from you, and you're really good at giving. Okay, Leo rising, if you have a Leo rising, you more than likely have Aquarius in the 7th house. Now, this is a very unusual kind of relationship dynamic, right? You're going to attract partners who are a little bit quirky and a little bit odd, but you're gonna like that, because it's these people are a lot of times who you wish you could be. Like, you're a Leo rising, you love attention, and so sometimes you may do a little, some dramatic, silly stuff that you don't have to do for attention, right? Because you just like anything for attention. You may be one of them people where you like, bad attention is attention, so I don't care. And then you attract a person like Aquarius, who they don't have to necessarily do anything toxic for attention. They just are their weird, quirky selves. Like, they're just different. They just think different and talk different and act different because their philosophy is rooted in originality. And that is so attractive to you, that they can just get attention from being themselves. You know, having an Aquarius in the 7th house, they get attention. Now, they're not like you where they necessarily want attention. They just naturally get it because they're so different and they're so unique, and you're drawn to that. You're like, it's something about you that I just don't get that with other people. I don't get that uniqueness with other people. And I wish I had the courage to be unique like that. I wish I had the courage to not care about what people think like how you do, you know, because Leo is about courage. And even if you don't feel courageous on the inside, you want people to perceive you that way. And you're like, Aquarius got it. Aquarius has that courageous persona that I wish that I had. Like, Aquarius seems like they don't care what nobody thinks, and if only I could be that way. So you do have a tendency to attract partners who are a little unconventional. They're unusual. They have a weird sense of fashion. They put things on their body that most people wouldn't put on. You usually attract people like that, or you're usually drawn to people like that. So these people, you attract intellectual minded people, people who are maybe a little philosophical. They're always trying to discover the deeper meaning of life. People who are very passionate about social causes and like human rights and things like that, which may be very interesting to you because it gives y'all something to talk about. Like, you love that Aquarius moves with purpose. You know, they move with purpose in a way that you kind of always wanted to, but you never really knew how to. And when you're more evolved, you will attract the person that helps you to be your original self and move with purpose in a healthy way, rather than to just do a bunch of wild out there stuff that can be maybe immature or toxic for attention. Because Aquarius, the house of Aquarius also rules friendships, this is one of those placements where you are more prone to marrying your best friend. I don't know why, but like researching the Leo Aquarius dynamic with Leo rising Aquarius in the 7th and then Aquarius rising Leo in the 7th. I don't know why, but these are like the most interesting placements to me. All right, Virgo rising, Pisces in the 7th house. Now, there's a lot going on with this one. Your love life be crazy. I'm laughing because this is my placement. I'm a Virgo rising with the Pisces in the 7th house. So you really love to come across put together, and you do. You come across as very put together. You come across like you got it going on. You come across like you're like literally one of the smartest people in the room. Like, delusional you? Oh, no, baby. But in relationships, you can be like Pisces and be delusional. People will never know. They probably will never know. They will never know how dreamy and how much of a hopeless romantic you secretly are. Unfortunately for me, I feel like this is one of the most dangerous placements, because you are prone to attracting deceitful partners. You are prone to attracting partners that try to pull the wool over your eyes, or you are also prone to attracting partners that maybe they're not trying to deceive you, but they're just a walking red flag. But because you are so Piscean in the way that you see people, and you're so in need of love and romance, and you want relationships to be so spiritual and so dreamy and so otherworldly, that you overlook the red flags. Okay, and this has definitely been me, unfortunately. OMG, maybe that's why I'm still single and I'm almost 30. I don't even know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, you have a tendency to attract addicts, people who are escapists. You know, you attract people who are very Pisces like, where they have a hard time accepting reality for what it is. And this has definitely been the case for me in my love life. I've attracted quite a few guys that was so immature and so resistant to the real world that it would frustrate the heck out of me. As a Virgo rising, you still are very detail oriented, right? You still don't like the BS. You still can be very mature and you want to be practical, right? And so you attract partners who can be delusional, because there's a part of you that can be delusional, right? And the universe is trying to get you to look at that side of you. You know, the universe is trying to get you to be a little bit more practical in your approach to relationships, right? But also, this is about the balance, though. It's not that you just need to be more practical. You do need a sense of spirituality in your relationships. It's why you keep attracting very spiritual relationships, right? Pisces in the 7th house is a very spiritual love life. Like almost every single partner that you attract, you feel some type of spiritual connection to, you know? And you attract a lot of I guess you could say soul ties, but soulmate relationships and twin flame relationships. Like this placement, you will at some point manifest your twin flame. Not everybody comes across their twin flame, but you are more than likely to come across your twin flame. And not everybody's twin flame is good for them, right? Like I already have my twin flame, right? Like I already had that twin flame relationship, and that dude was toxic, and he was toxic spiritually, right? Pisces in the 7th house also signifies toxic spirituality. Somebody who uses spirituality to deceive people. You know, this is a placement of somebody who can attract cult leaders. I already did that. fun times. I actually made a story time about that. Go watch that. This is a placement of somebody who attracts like fake spiritual gurus. You may get romantically involved with somebody who makes phony or superficial or fake spiritual promises that they can't follow through with. Like this can be a very chaotic placement. You can also attract partners who are spiritually confused, which I've already done that too. Exposing myself here. You may attract partners who, like I had an ex who would be like, I'm a Mason. No, I'm into voodoo and I'm Christian. And I'm like, how can you be a Mason, a voodoo worker, a Christian? And it was something else that he said that he was into. And I'm like, I don't know everything about all spiritual practices, but from what I can tell, I don't think you can be a voodoo Christian Mason. I don't know. Okay, I don't know everything. Maybe you can, but he was very spiritually confused and he was frustrated. He had an internal frustration towards that confusion that he would sometimes project out onto me. So unfortunately, you may attract partners who have something called spiritual psychosis, where they think something's going on spiritually and it's really just in their imagination. And I already experienced that too. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of L's in this one, ain't I? Yeah. Be careful not to fall in love with potential with this placement. You know, be careful not to fall in love with who you want a person to be. Okay, please make sure that the person that you are with is who they say they are, because with this placement you are prone to falling in love with an idea of a person rather than who they really are. Libra rising, Aries in the 7th house. Okay, so this is interesting. I have a good friend who is a Libra rising. Okay, and so I definitely saw some similarities in this reading with him. So Libra rising, so you are very attracted to very independent minded people. You're attracted to people who you don't need to get on their butt and tell them what to do. They already doing it. You love people like this, okay? And if you're a man, you may be very attracted to dominant women. You know, women that are sometimes like bossy. You know, women that can be hotheads. You know, women that can be very dramatic. And in the beginning, it is so exciting to you. But once you get in a relationship, you're like, oh no, why was I attracted to that? Oh no. And that's what happens with a Libra rising, right? You have Aries in the 7th house. So when it comes to relationships, you unfortunately have a tendency to attract a lot of conflict. So this is a very, very challenging 7th house placement. It's not so fun like Sagittarius in the 7th, right? Like your fellow fire sign, you know, sibling. Okay, Aries in the 7th house is challenging, okay, because you're going to attract a lot of arguments and fights, and your love life, it just seems like you can never get no peace. It's like, how come every female I date is always drama, is always fighting? Like it's always something. And what you don't realize, but you need to realize is you got a feisty mouth. Okay? Sometimes you say stuff out your mouth and it may be the truth, but it's the way you say it. Okay? So sometimes you come across as combative and you don't realize it. Sometimes you come across like you want to argue and you want to fight and you want to make people feel attacked, and that's not really your intention. So you also have to be mindful of the way that you communicate, right? Because Libra is all about communication. So, oh, look at that sunlight coming to hit me, y'all. I'm dealing though. I love the sunlight, so it's all good. So be mindful of the way that you communicate. Communication is really, really, really important with this placement. If you don't attract a partner that knows how to sit down and communicate, you are going to have a very challenging love life. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's good for you to attract partners that are go-getters and they are confident and they will take life by the lapels or whatever. That's good for you. You do need a confident and independent partner, but you don't need all the fire. You know, it's fun. You like to have fun. You almost feel that if there's not a lot of passion and turbulence and spice and raising your voice and all that, you almost feel that it's not real love. And that can be kind of dangerous, because that's kind of somewhat of an immature perspective on relationships, and it may take you a while. Like, you may not learn until later in life that relationships don't have to be dramatic and they don't have to be like argumentative. So with this relationship, please be wary of physical altercations. You know, I mean, you could attract like straight up fist fights, you know, so be wary of that. And be wary of just attracting very chaotic, immature partners, you know. But the thing with this placement is the more you evolve and mature is the more mature your partners will be that you attract. Scorpio rising, Taurus in the 7th house. So Scorpio rising, you, despite how mysterious and emotional you can be, you attract a lot of times you attract partners who are the opposite, right? Like, they're not mysterious, they're very direct and straightforward, and also very emotionally cool, right? Like, you need that. You need a partner that is more emotionally stable, because you have a lot of emotion. Like, you're a very emotional person, you know. And obviously not every Scorpio rising is going to be emotional, but this is, you know, a generalization. Like, this is on average. Having a Scorpio rising, you can be very sensitive and you see a lot, right? Like, you have that keen Scorpio eye where you see a lot, you feel a lot, you're highly intuitive and highly empathic, and you need somebody to kind of balance you out, because you see so much, and unfortunately you see a lot of darkness. You know, you see a lot of people's shadows. You see a lot of negativity in the world. Like, sometimes you can even be prone to pessimism and seeing like the worst in things. And having a Taurus partner, or a partner who has Taurian like energy, will help you to kind of see things from a more realistic view rather than from like an emotional view, right? Like, you have a more emotionally charged kind of way of seeing human beings and things like that. Scorpio rising, whether you will admit it or not, you love a partner with money. You love the thought of having a husband who make bank, okay? You love the thought of attracting a woman who be on her ish and makes a lot of her own money. You love the hustler. You love the hard worker. You love the person that you know, the entrepreneur. You love the entrepreneur. You love the person that knows how to make money. And you will attract partners who make money, right? You will attract partners who are good at making money, right? Because Taurus rules the 2nd house, which is the house of money, material gain, and, you know, and values and things like that. People who are very firm in their beliefs and very firm in their values. People who are not easily swayed. And, you know, this is a placement of somebody who, if done right, you know, once you learn the lessons that you need to learn, your soulmate will be somebody who is like the anchor in your waters. Like, somebody that really brings you down to planet Earth and really grounds the heck out of you. Because you find it hard to be grounded sometimes with all that emotion and all the intuition and the psychic senses that you be having, right? So, like, you are super spiritual. Everything is spiritual to you. You see things through a spiritual lens, and you have a partner who kind of brings you into reality, you know, brings you down to planet Earth. When it comes to relationships, your relationships may be very, very transformative, and you may be always going through something when you're in relationships, and you coincidentally attract partners, stable partners with that Taurus like energy, who help you through the challenging times or help you through the transition, right? You're usually going through some type of transformation when you're dating, or you date a partner that brings about some type of new transformation. So transformation is really huge with relationships with you, and usually it's you transforming. So as far as looks go, you are lucky here. Like, you do have a tendency to attract partners who are very well dressed, who have really good self-care. Like, they prioritize their hygiene, and they really care about looking good, smelling good. They really care about this. You know, you may even attract people that are a little bit materialistic as well, and they're good at acquiring materials, and you may not even really like care that much about materials, but you attract materialistic partner, materialistic partners, or you secretly are very materialistic, and you really want a partner who can bring you material gain, but you would never let people know. Okay, so Sagittarius rising, Gemini in the 7th. Okay, so this is a fun placement. Like, the Sag Gem kind of duality is always fun, right? So you having a Sagittarius rising, you're very lucky, right? You have luck with you to do what you want to do, you know, and what you want to do is travel. You want to travel, you want to explore, you want to learn, you want to meet new people, you want to learn about different cultures, and you a lot of the times are lucky enough to be able to do it because you attract people who want to help you, right? And so when it comes to having a Gemini in the 7th, you have a tendency to attract partners that want to help you to get there. Like, partners that will help you to travel more and may want to travel with you, right? Like, you attract Gemini, like people who also want to go on adventures. So you value knowledge and information from a more philosophical or spiritual standpoint, but you have a tendency to attract partners who value information from a social standpoint. Like, they value information when it comes to the people around them, and you know, the psychology of the human mind and things like that. Like, Geminis are very much like extroverts, you know, this is a very extroverted energy. So you may attract partners who are very extroverted. You love this. Like, you're very attracted to outgoing, sociable people. Like, this is what gets you going, right? Like, these are the type of people that excite you the most. Like, you don't want to be with a partner that's like stuck in the house. And the people that you do attract people that are like that. Now, you may, unfortunately, with this placement, attract people who have commitment issues, you know, which a lot of the times is a projection of your own commitment issues. You may say that you really want love, and deep down inside you do, like, you really want a long-lasting love, but you're scared. You may have a fear of commitment. You may really want commitment, but you feel that you don't have what it takes, or you feel that maybe you're not worthy of a real genuine commitment. So you subconsciously attract partners who are all over the place and can't sit down for nothing and don't know what they want, right? And you yourself may be confused about what you want in relationships. This is somebody who may be a very confused partner. Like, you don't know if you want to be single, you don't know if you want to be monogamous or polyamorous. Like, you don't know, and you struggle to attract people who know what they want too. So be wary of relationship confusion, and just attracting wishy-washy, like scatterbrained partners. Be wary of the fact that you may also attract liars. Like, on the undeveloped side of this placement, you know, before you really evolve, you may attract partners who are prone to dishonesty. This placement is really good for like deep, stimulating conversation. Like, this is what draws you and your partner in. And this is something that you kind of have a lot with your partners, is very stimulating, very significantly deep conversations. Like, this is what you need. Like, you crave it. You crave, like, this is somebody who may be sapiosexual, which is somebody who's really turned on by intelligence, right? Like, you love an intelligent man, or you love an intelligent woman, and you do attract people like this. But on the undeveloped side, you may attract somebody who is good at like trying to act like they're super intelligent, and they can word things in a certain way, but they're really not as smart as they come across, you know, on the undeveloped side, on the negative side. But if you do this right, you will attract somebody who is really good with communication. because Gemini is all about communication. So communicating is just really important to you in relationships. So make sure that you are paying attention to your partner's communication styles. Also, you may more than likely meet your person or your people at social events or through friends. And a lot of the times, more than likely, the partner that you attract will have a very social job, a job that requires for them to maybe do public speaking or just communicate a lot with people. Okay, Capricorn rising, Cancer in the 7th. So Capricorn rising, you are destined for success, and you value success. Like, you take success and career very, very seriously. Like, you could literally be a workaholic. And so there's a part of you that you keep kind of hidden that has a very, very strong desire for love, like very nurturing love. And you have a very strong, secret, strong desire to start a family and to be married and to have kids. And you have this side to you that really values traditional marriage and traditional relationships, right? And when undeveloped, you may attract partners who are emotionally chaotic, right? Like, they come across like the perfect partner who is going to settle down, and they want a home, and they want to have that classic, home life. But all they are is just an emotional mess, an emotional wreck on the undeveloped side of it. You are prone to attracting partners that are very clingy, partners that are very codependent, partners that are even emotionally demanding, right? If this is undeveloped, you may even attract partners who are emotionally manipulative, but on the light side, if you do it right, if you learn the lessons that you need to learn, you may attract people who have like the more healthy aspect of Cancer, which is that you are a good parent, right? A good mom, a good father. Like you attract somebody that's good at being a parent, somebody that's very nurturing, somebody that's very caring, and somebody that has the right set of values when it comes to building a family. You'll notice this pattern with your partners, and it's that they have high emotion, and sometimes maybe too much emotion, and maybe a lot more emotion than what you have, and you're there to help them to kind of balance out those emotions. You're the level-headed one, you're the more calm one, and you're supposed to help them to recognize that emotions are important, but you don't have to live life through them. There's other things that are important, especially to a Capricorn rising. There's money, there's business. Capricorn rising, like, we got money to make, stop crying. So be careful not to be too cold though with this placement, because you are attracting Cancerian people to help you to get in tune with your emotions. It's not good for you to be emotionless, like you're not supposed to be, and that's why you attract people with Cancer energy, because you need to balance your emotions. You need to stop cutting your emotions off, right? You have a tendency to ignore how you feel emotionally and suppress how you feel. Like, you may be very emotionally suppressed. You may have been raised to suppress your emotions in order to survive in the family when you were a kid or something like that. And so you attract people who have that Cancer energy that lets you know this is a safe space. It's okay to feel, right? So you attract partners who are very, when it's evolved, you will attract a partner who is very emotionally available, because whether you want people to know this or not, and you don't like to project this, but you may have a part of you that is very emotional and is very sensitive, but you don't want people to know. You just really want a partner who is emotionally available and emotionally in tune with you. Like, your soul really does need that. So you may attract people who have like a baby face. They have like a certain innocence to them, like big dreamy gooey dewy eyes that are full of emotion. So, and you do subconsciously attract healers, people that are very intuitive, people that are very in tune with spirit, very spiritual people who may even have, psychic abilities and can feel what you feel. And when you do it right, you'll attract a partner who's in tune with you like that. And they'll just be able to know that you having a bad day. And you'll be like, oh my God, God bless. Like, thank God I learned all the lessons I needed to learn with relationships. So now I'm with a partner that is in tune with my feelings. Like, that's all I've ever wanted. Aquarius rising, Leo in the 7th house. Okay, this is like my favorite. Aquarius rising and Leo rising with their opposites in their 7th house are like, they're my favorites. I don't know why, they just interest me the most whenever I research on them. You have a tendency to, like Leo, you attract attention. You're good at it. You're an attention magnet. But you attract attention because of your quirkiness. You attract attention because of your unusualness. So oddly enough, you attract a partner that is very popular, very well liked. This is somebody that has the potential to attract a partner that is very wealthy, a partner that has a very high status, a partner who may even be related to royalty, like related to the king or the queen, or somebody that just has a very regal royal air to them naturally, right? Like, you're very lucky. You attract a partner that is very beautiful, very fit. They have a lot of care for their body, you know, very athletic, very just naturally beautiful people that are very charismatic, people who just draw in attention just by walking into the room, people who have a natural sense of confidence. Like, you're drawn to that. Like, my God, you are drawn to confident people, right? You're drawn to people that are like Leo, people who may even be a little bit braggadocious, you know, people that like to brag about themselves, people that like, you know, you may be attracted to cocky people, you know, you may, like, really like that. You like people who like, yeah, I'm the ish. I'm hot. I'm sexy. Ain't nobody better. You like that. You like that confidence. But be careful, because what happens is sometimes you attract that because you really like that, but then that person reveals themselves to be a narcissist and reveals themselves to be somebody that's very full of themselves and think that they can do no wrong and their ish don't stink and they better than everybody, and then you end up not being able to stand them. So be careful with that. And this is the more unevolved aspect of this placement. When done right, you will attract a partner who has a genuine sense of confidence. It's not forced. It's not rooted in narcissism. It's genuine. And they're not intimidated or put off by your unusualness and by your quirkiness. Instead, they're intrigued by it. When done right, you attract a partner that compliments you. You don't necessarily need for everybody to like you or for you to be the center of attention, but you do feel like it's important for people to understand you, right? Like, you feel like you don't need everybody to understand you, but you want at least that one person to understand you. And if you do it right, that one person will be your future spouse. So karmically speaking, you have a tendency to inspire a lot of your partners to be original and to be themselves. You may attract people who don't know how to be original and they care too much what people think, and then you step in there and you help them to get out of their head and stop being so socially conscious and just be themselves. All right. So our final placement, Pisces rising, Virgo in the 7th. You can be very imaginative and very spiritual. Like, life is a spiritual experience for you, but you may be almost too spiritual to the point where you're not all the way on planet Earth. You may even use spirituality as an escape, right? And so what the universe does is they send you a Virgo. They send you a person who's like a Virgo, whether they're Virgo sun or not, or Virgo rising, whatever. You attract people who are like a Virgo, who are down to earth, grounded, practical, logical. And they give you a little swat up the head and say, what are you doing? What are you thinking? What about life? What about reality? You know, they bring you down to planet Earth. They help you to feel more grounded, because you are prone to delusions. And attracting a Virgo partner, they're here to help you to have a healthy balance between the physical and the spiritual, right? And you're also here to help them to open their mind up and to see that there's more to reality than doctor's appointments and, you know, nutrition and, you know, making sure that, you know, you write the to-do list perfectly. Like, there's more to life than that, Virgo. And that's kind of what you teach Virgo. So this pairing, it's always challenging with Virgo and Pisces, because you have to work through a lot of illusions and delusions, and sometimes you may not know what's real and what's not. But lucky for you, if you do it right, you will attract partners who have a very sharp and keen eye for like reality. So you have a tendency to attract people that are very hardworking, people that take their jobs seriously, and they help you to be more organized with your job, because you may be one of those people that don't like to work. Like, you don't like to work. And some people, your partners may perceive you to be lazy. Like, they may be like, you lazy, you don't want to do nothing, and it may irritate them. But if they try to understand you, they may, they'll understand that maybe you're not meant to work. Maybe you're meant to be an entrepreneur. Or maybe you're meant to be an artist. Maybe you're meant to be paid to do art on commission. Like, you're a Pisces rising after all. You don't really like structure. Like, structure is not your strong suit, right? And you attract partners who really are good at structure so they can help you. You may attract partners who, on a not so good side, may take the role of your savior, and may like rescue you a lot. You may be the delusional partner who attracts partners who they kind of pity you, and then they want to like help you or like fix you, and you got to be careful with that, because then codependency can develop and it may become toxic, and you both may end up resenting each other. So as far as physical appearances go, a lot of the times the partners that you attract are very meticulous about their clothes and their outward appearance. If they have a little bit of chipped nail polish, they're gonna make sure gotta get that off. I don't want nobody to see that I got chipped nails. A person that has really good hygiene, a person that's like maybe even overly concerned about the way they smell or the way that they look. And you may be kind of like the messy dreamer, artsy type that don't really care. And then you're attracted to somebody that's like super neat and clean cut. You help your partner to get out of their head though, because Virgos can think, like overthink, right? And accept the what do you call it? I guess the dreamier side of life. Like, there's so much more to life than sitting still in one spot, being on the computer, or working on your business. Like, this could be a healthy balance if done right. So you may attract a partner that has like a youthful, like innocence to the way that they look. Like, they may have like very youthful, soft, smooth skin. They may even have like a submissive kind of look to them, or a submissive vibe to them as well. Like, these are the people that come across like Virgo risings. Like, you attract people that have that Virgo rising look. Wow. The sun is going down. Wow. So how long have I been filming? Maybe an hour. It does take about an hour to do videos like these, but it's all good. I would much rather do the videos like this than to do them like a video per sign. I may still do that, like a series, like how I used to do. I may still do that in the future. It's just a lot more work. It's a commitment. It really is. So I hope that you all enjoyed that. Please give this video a thumbs up and share this with your friends. If you know your friend has a Cancer rising, share this video with them and say, hey, click the timestamp where it says Cancer rising and check that part out. All right. Subscribe, duh, because why wouldn't you? Like, if you want valuable information, or if you just want to look at a cute black girl talk about geeky stuff, then this is the channel for you. So what you waiting? Oh my God, that motorcycle noise outside scared the crap out of me. I need to stop drinking coffee. Because coffee can be giving me anxiety. Okay, y'all. I love y'all. Bye-bye.